So this is the LG Ultra Gear 32GS60QC, and listen to the specs. 32-inch curved 2K display, 180Hz refresh rate, and it has a 1 millisecond gray to gray response time, and it comes with the design of its elder brothers. So as you know, the OLED LG monitors which have those beautiful designs with lights here and there. So this has the same design minus the lights, and you get all this for just, listen to me, 22,000 rupees. So in this video, I'll be unboxing and giving my first raw impressions, and I will be switching up, these two dual monitors with this, and that's going to be my new setup. So let's do all that, and without wasting any precious time, let's begin. Now, before this, I did buy an LG monitor, but that box felt a little heavy even though it was a 27-inch monitor, but this definitely doesn't feel that heavy. But one thing I am really surprised is, I actually had a 32-inch monitor, like few years back, like 4 years back, and that costed nearly 30,000 rupees, and that was of course a 2K monitor, but no high refresh rate and all. It had only a 60Hz display, and yeah, it was good, not something amazing, and I spent 30,000 rupees. But now you're getting something like this for just 22,000 rupees. I think now is the time to get a monitor. So that's how good monitors these days are. So open it up. Now this is some really tight packaging. Now I have to say, this here is definitely a very jam-packed, tightly packed monitor. So in the box you get your power cable, the adapter, a VESA mount adapter, since this is curved, so I think it's for that. And then you get your DisplayPort cable, you get your documentation, then you get your stand, and then you get the base. Now these are definitely heavy, but the stand is small, so it's small, I think. Yeah, it's small. So let's just fix it up and see how it is. One thing to keep in mind is you need to first screw in the neck of the stand and then screw the plate in. One good thing is that they have labeled the neck screw and the stand. You have to install this, rotate till it gets tight. So I really think that is fixed tight, and then you have to install the base. Make sure you fix it tight. We don't want this humongous thing falling on us. Now with the base fixed, let's take the monitor out. So this is the monitor, a 32-inch curved 2K monitor. And I have to say, this definitely looks pretty sexy, to be honest. I'll be very honest. The curve, so this has a 1000-hour curve. It's not like too curved in or anything, so it is kind of decent. And the design, so let me just show you in the back. So as you can see here, the design is just amazing at the back. It's very minimalistic. Of course, there's no lights and all for this price. You really can't expect that. But this here is a very sick design. Now in terms of adjustability, you don't literally have no adjustability here. Yep, you have nothing. So you have to make sure your desk is flat, because there's no tilt, swivel, nothing of that sort here. It's just keep it and start working. Now in terms of ports, you get two HDMI, a display port, you get your headphone jack and your DC power in. Now with that said, I'll be switching up these two monitors with this, and let me catch you right there. Now I took off the old monitors and I have replaced it with this, and I have to say this is definitely a huge monitor, and the curve actually helps quite a bit. It gives the feeling of like you're immersed. Now in terms of the colors and all that stuff, now straight upon it is good. but off axis there is a little bit of color shift, but of course I'll do all my testing, so don't worry about that. This is just my first impressions. Now I'm a person who's been using color accurate monitors, and especially I use the Dell Ultrasharp. Now coming from that, this here is definitely a huge difference, but this is not a monitor that is meant for color accurate work, but it's still good. Straight up, the colors are definitely good, and I definitely have to play with some settings. And in the unboxing I mentioned there's no sort of adjustment, but there is slight tilt. So as you can see here, there is a very slight amount of tilt that you can do. Nothing drastic, but yeah. Now considering the size, this here is a pretty stable monitor. It doesn't wobble like anything crazy, so I'm happy with how stable it is. Now in terms of the on-screen display controls, you have one at the back, so it's right here. So you have the basic controls, so that is there, and you don't get speakers here. So before wrapping up, let's just quickly play a small game. When it comes to gaming, the colors are actually nice. Now this here is a VA panel, so you get better contrast. It's not a TN panel, and I can definitely say for a VA panel the colors are pretty good. And I can definitely say this here is a very responsive monitor. Now since I've connected with HDMI, it is playing only at 144 Hz. Of course I'll be testing it by connecting a DisplayPort 2, so don't worry about that. That will be done in the full review. So as you can see here, this monitor, first impressions, I am really liking it, especially when it comes to gaming. I can say this here is a very good one. So this monitor for 20,000 rupees is definitely a steal. So when it comes to gaming, my initial impressions is that this has very good colors, considering that this here is a VA panel and it is a pretty responsive monitor. But of course this is just my first impressions, not a full review. Please make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss that. And with that said, I personally feel like for 22,000 rupees, this here is an amazing deal, especially if you are a gamer. Now if you want to check this monitor out, I'll have the links to this in the description below, but this is not the full review. I'll have that coming soon. Since I've swapped out my other monitors for this, I will be testing this out in depth, so make sure to subscribe to see that. So thanks for watching, and this here is Suman signing off once again. Catch you later.